and welcome back to Writer's Workshop. Today we're going to focus on moving away from a list and listing things like I love my dog, I love my family, and really change it and work on creating a focused idea. And so I'm going to look back at this writing that we did earlier in Writer's Workshop, and we referred to it last time we worked in our Writer's Journal. And if you remember, I wrote about my family. And I said, my family is Mark and Molly and me. And so I want us to practice zooming in on an idea. This time, I want to focus on another aspect of my family. So yes, this is my family, Mark and me and Molly. And if you recall, the last time I zoomed in on Mark and I talked more about what he does. He works at Lowe's. He designs kitchens. Now today, I'm going to take that another step further, and I'm going to write about some things that Mark and I like to do together. So I'm going to start by drawing a picture of Mark and I together. And the first thing that comes to my mind is something that we just did together, and that was we took a trip. So we really like to travel together. We like to go on cruises. We'll fly to different places. And so I'm going to draw my very best picture. This is tricky for Miss Wilcox, but I'm going to draw a picture of an airplane. So that's kind of my best version of an airplane. And it has little windows in it. So let me get a different color. So it has, if you've ever been on a plane, there's a little window. And you can see there's actually windows on both sides of the plane. And you can kind of look out, and there's lots of seats on the inside. And so I'm going to add some color because airplanes are sometimes silver. You know, we just went on a trip, Mr. Wilcox and I. We just got back this week. We took an airplane and we went to Texas. We wanted to go do a little bit of sightseeing, and Mr. Wilcox really likes history. So he likes to watch TV shows about things that happened in the past, long time ago, and things that kind of shaped our country. And so he had never been to this place called the Alamo, which is a part of our history. And so one of our goals when we went to San Antonio, Texas, was to go to the Alamo. And so that was something we decided to do over spring break. So I know when I'm flying in an airplane, the airplane is in the sky. So I am just going to make some clouds here, and I'm going to kind of make the sky, my adding details here, noticing that I'm kind of filling in as much of my white space as I can, because that's adding details. When I have extra white space laying around, that in my mind tells me that I have more things that I can add. I can add more details into all that open space. And so adding color, adding details to my pictures really helps my reader to be able to picture what it is that I see in my head. And so anything that I can add to my picture to help them visualize my story as they're reading it is going to help them to understand what it is I'm writing about even better. All right, so I said this was about Mr. Wilcox and I, but I don't see us anywhere in here. So maybe I need to try to draw us. Maybe you'll see, I'm going to just put a little smiley face here in the windows to show people looking out. And maybe that's where Mr. Wilcox and I are, but this is something we like to do together. So when you're in an airplane, you're up high in the sky, and sometimes you don't see anything but clouds and sky. So I think I'm ready to do my sentence. So I said I'm zooming in I'm putting on my binoculars and I'm zooming in to my family. And I said I wanted to write about how Mark and I like to travel, or Mr. Wilcox and I. Let's just go with Mark. So Mark and I like, ooh, that's a sight word. Let me use one of my resources to look at my sight word list so I can spell those words correctly. Like, L-I-K-E. L-I-K-E. Mark and I like to, that's another sight word, so if I needed to, I could look, travel. Mark and travel. Now that's kind of a big word, so I don't have enough space here. I'm going to jump right down here. Travel, ooh, Let me look at my list. I got the but now I need the ooh, like rainbow. So that's an R. Okay, good. Travel. Mark and I like to travel. All right, that's one thought, but I wanted to tell you where I went and how, because that matches my picture. So Mark and I like to travel. That's one thought, so I put the period to show that it's one thought. And let me keep going. We rode, owed. And I know that to make this an O, I need an E on the end. We rode on. Let's say on. So I have an eraser. I can erase. We rode on a plane. Pull. So again, I don't have much room, so let me come down here. Pull. Let me look back at, ooh, that's like lion. Pull, we rode on a plane to, and where did I say we go? We went to Texas. Now that's the name of a state. So whenever I write a name, I have to have an uppercase letter. So Texas. We rode on a plane to Texas. And I need what at the end of a sentence? Yes. I need a period at the end of my sentence. Let me read my sentence back to you to see if it makes sense. Mark and I like to travel. We rode on a plane to Texas. I have an uppercase letter to start each of my sentences. I have a period at the end of each thought. And I have spaces between. My picture matches my sentence because I'm talking about riding on a plane, and there's a picture of a plane. So I think I'm done with my writing for today. Now, boys and girls, it's going to be your turn to write. I want you to zoom in. I want you to look back at your writer's workshop or your writing journal, and I want you to think about one picture, one of those writing samples, and I want you to zoom in and tell me more. We're going to keep working on our stamina, our time, and we're going to be working today for 14 minutes. Does your writing have to be perfect? No. Does your picture have to be perfect? No. You're just going to do your best. We're going to see if we can work hard for 14 minutes. Now remember, as you're writing, great writers work on stamina. They write the whole time. So we're going to set the timer today for 14 minutes. And you're going to try to write and draw your picture for the entire time. 14 minutes. And if you think you're done before that timer goes off, go back and see, are there some more details or colors that you can add? Can you add clothing to your characters? Can you add something to your setting? Next, we're going to use our tools to help us write. So use our word wall. Use this tool to help you find the letters that make the sounds you're hearing in your words. So we're going to use our tools to help us write. We're also going to add characters. So those are the people or animals in our story. We're going to add the setting. Where does it take place? So I added little people in my windows. The setting in my story is in the air, so there's not a lot of details that I can add for that, but you might be able to add more. And we're going to keep adding details to our writing. So can you write more than just one sentence? Mark and I like to travel. Yes, that tells me something, but it doesn't tell me specific things. We rode on a plane to Texas. That gives me more details about how Mark and I like to travel. So your goal today, boys and girls, is to just look deeper. Take those binoculars, look deeper at one of your writings, zoom in, and tell me more. So turn to your next open page in your journal, and you are going to just tell me more. Then upload a picture and read your sentences to me. Happy writing!